The following broadcast is brought to you by Public House Media.
Hello! Welcome to Choose to Rise, housed here on Public House Media. I'm so glad that you're here to give a listen. My podcasts are audio pulled from my live Facebook posts every single morning, where I share other healthy living tips, motivational information, and connect with people from all over to live their life as a very best self. If you like these messages, I hope you tell a friend about Public House Media and my podcast so we can spread more positivity around the world. Thanks for listening. On with the show. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? My name is Kim Meyer, and I am the founder of Choose to Rise Up. Choose to Rise is the podcast here hosted by Public House Media, and I am so grateful to get to work with them and come live to you today. My name, like I said, Kim Meyer, and I am a health and wellness coach. I am a school administrator. I am in love with self-care and helping others achieve their absolute best. And so one of the things I want to talk to you today about this beautiful Monday in October is how to create a self-care strategy, how to create a self-care plan, something that you can do to help make yourself feel better, help yourself love yourself more, just have a better life in general. And so today we're going to talk about self-care strategies. And so we want to change the way you think about self-care. Chances are that when you hear self-care, you're thinking a whole bunch of activities like getting enough sleep, meditation, taking vacations, exercising. There's lots of habits here. But what I'd really suggest is that the most important thing that you can do is what you can do to take care of yourself, how you feel and how you think about yourself and your needs and your feelings, as well as all the activities that go with it. So you could honestly say that you love and care for yourself. You can say those things, but when you actually feel them, if you would actually treat yourself like your best friend or your spouse or your child, if you ask those people those things, that's what I think self-care is all about, is like really focusing in on yourself and treating yourself like you would other people. If you just take a second and think about for right now, if you thought about all the things that you've said to yourself in the last 24 hours or 48 hours maybe, and if those thoughts that were running through your head were the words that you said to other people, like to your daughter, to your husband, to your spouse, to your best friend, if those words that you said in your head were the words that are coming out of your mouth of the people, would you be happy with what they were? Maybe not. A lot of people, women especially, have a really self-critical mind, have a really self-critical thoughts and words that come to their own head. And, if you're not willing to say those things to other people, then you shouldn't be saying them to yourself. You're the most important person when it comes to self-love and self-respect. And so if you are going to take care of other people, you should definitely be taking care of yourself first. So a few self-care myths. We get some pretty mixed messages in our society about self-care. On one hand, we give lip service to the importance of self-care, but on the other hand, there's societal biases towards too much being busy and negative attitudes towards nothing or relaxing or, in lots of experiences, both the myths about self-care in our culture really boil down to four things. Self-care is selfish, self-care is expensive, self-care is time-consuming, and people really don't deserve self-care. But you know what? Those are all myths. Those are all things that are crazy talk, all things that are people try to convince you of so that you just don't do it. And you know what? It's not selfish. It is vital to your everyday behavior. It is not expensive. There are simple things that you can do every day, like listening to this podcast that are free, that you can do every single day to improve your self-care, to improve your life. It's not time consuming. I do self-care while I'm doing other things, listening to podcasts on my drive, on my walk, while I'm doing dishes, when I wake up in the morning, all those kinds of things. It's not expensive. It's not time consuming. It's spending time on the things that matter. You, right? These beliefs can make committing to self-care super difficult. And I want to counter these messages. I want to give you some tips and some tricks that are going to help you take care of yourself. It's totally okay to take care of your needs and your feelings. If you don't, who's going to take care of you? If you don't take care of you, I gotta get rid of this light. Who doesn't take care of you? Who's going to take care of the one who takes care of other people, right? You can't take care of yourself without being selfish or neglecting others. There's room for space and the day for everything and everyone's needs. And self-care doesn't have to cost money. Like I said, it's an attitude, not a trip to the Caribbean. You maybe needed some help helpful, or you need to create a plan or a list of self-care activities, and that's kind of what we're going to do today. But I'm suggesting that the first self-care practice should be considering your own needs and what you make your decision in all areas of your life. Instead of overwhelming yourself with a whole bunch of intense changes, I want you to get curious about what acts or what things you're going to do is going to be the best influence for you and the best love and self-respect for yourself. So anyone can do these things. Anyone can implement at least one of these self-care habits and help yourself get better as you go. And one small change over time leads to positive impact. So if you get active for at least 10 minutes a day, over time, you're going to be able to increase your endurance. You're going to increase your energy. It's going to have a long-lasting impact. Just like having a donut a day is going to have a lasting impact. So that first day, it may just be like those 120 calories. And then the next day, that becomes 240. And the next day, that becomes 360. And all of those things add up over time. Same thing goes with self-care. The more positive things you put in your life, the more positive impact it's going to have on you. So here's a few things that you can do to get active. And one of the things that I want you to do is for you to take a self-care inventory. And this is going to be your homework for today. I want you to take a self-care inventory. And what you're going to do is you're going to get a piece of paper and you're going to divide it, fold it in half. Actually, I'll take a piece of paper right here and just do it with you. All right. So you're going to get a piece of paper and you're going to fold it in half, like a hot dog style, teacher version here. Do it hot dog style for the long way, the length way, for those of you who are listening on the podcast. And then you're going to fold it in thirds. So you're going to end up with 6 even pieces, or roughly 6 even pieces if you can fold straight like me. For those of you who can't see, I did not fold that very straight. And then, so once you get that, you're going to have a piece of paper in 6 even spaces. And this is going to be called your self-care resume. All right. So once you get into, open that back up. Now you have 6 even spots. And on the first one, you're going to write physical. On the next one, you're going to write creative. The next one is professional. 4th one is spiritual. The 5th one is relational, emotional. And the last one is what I'd like to focus on now. And once you've created that resume, once you've done that, then you've got those things on there. Now you're going to kind of just write things out. So you're going to write you're going to go through that and you're going to create a sample resume for those things. What is your life like right now? So you're going to take your self-care, and for some of you this might be a really challenging exercise. You may want to look I'm going to give you some examples, but you want to just write down some small things. And remember we all struggle with self-care sometimes, and what we do also is going to help us move forward in this. So it's okay to struggle. It's okay to not know exactly what you're going to write down, but dig deep and try to come up with at least one thing in each category. So here's some things that might show up on your categories. In the emotional and relational section, you might want to write down things like, I don't want to talk to so-and-so much anymore. Even though I care about her, she's always making me feel bad about myself. Or maybe it's, I don't want to engage with this kind of activity anymore because it always makes me feel like I'm negative. Maybe it's not getting dressed in front of the mirror anymore. Maybe it's something like that. So physical. Something you might write down is, I've paid and committed to weekly yoga class for 6 weeks. Or I've called Kim and committed to one of her personal wellness groups. In your spiritual section, I hiked down. That hike I went on was when I was 16. I just sat there for 30 minutes looking over the valley. It felt so connected. Come up with things on your resume that make you feel good, or things that you're going to do that are going to help you get there. In a creative kind of way, I doodled at work yesterday when I was stressed instead of checking my phone. I went on a walk for 15 minutes instead of eating that bag of chips. Things that you want to focus on right now. I'd like to take more places where I feel I belong. I wonder if I could try a meetup, the local artists association, or I wonder if I could go to that meeting and that mom's meeting and find a new friend. Things that you can do right now to go forward and do those things. Go through and do that self-care resume. What are you doing for yourself in the physical area? What are you doing for yourself in a creative way? What are you doing for yourself right now in a a spiritual way? What are you doing for yourself professionally to help you grow? What are you doing in the area of relational and emotional areas? And what is something that you want to focus on right now and change in your current situation? Doing that resume of what your life is like or has been is going to help you move forward. So you have to get a check of what your current reality is, and then figure out what it is that you want to do. So hopefully once you've done the self-care resume exercise, you'll have some sense of like where your self-care strengths are and perhaps some areas for improvement. And then the second thing I want you to do is to take that self-care resume, and I want you to create some self-care statements. The statement is a reminder, tailored something specifically to you about how you can focus on your self-care needs. You maybe take a note card, or you take something small, maybe you write it on your mirror, maybe you're going to do something that you're going to be able to do. So here's something that I might do. I need self-care in order to be my best and giving my all. Making a self-care a priority is not selfish, it's a basic habit for well-being. Simple statement like that is all you really need to put it someplace in your life. Maybe if it's on a note card, you can slide it in your pocket, you can put it in your purse, you can put it by your computer at work, you can put it wherever you need to, just so you're going to see it at all times and you're going to be able to love who you are and move forward. So taking that self-care action, I want you to take today and do that strategy with a resume. I want you to write that self-care statement and post it someplace, and then think of some other self-care ideas, other things that you can do for good self-care. You know, a lot of people need a lot of things that they need to do for self-care is to de-stress. Whether you are an artist, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a mom, whether you're a business person, whatever, write down your feelings. Move things out of your life in a stressful way. Journaling is an excellent way to get some thoughts and feelings out. Taking a drawing, doodling, de-stressing yourself with some coloring maybe. Thinking about ways that you can just unstress your life. For me, so I need to get physical. I need to lift some weights. I need to push play on a heavy cardio. I need to get outside and breathe fresh air. Those are the things that I do to distress my life. And as you go through your resume, you'll figure some of those things out, and then start incorporating more of them into your life. Maybe it's reading a good book. Maybe it's just disconnecting yourself from technology. Maybe it's disconnecting yourself from people for a little while, finding your alone time, some free space to learn and grow. Whatever it is, I highly encourage you to just get into those self-care habits and start small. They don't have to be something crazy big right away. Just start small. Maybe it's listening to podcasts on your way to work. Maybe it's, listening to more of these videos. Maybe it's getting active for a few minutes more a day. Maybe it's eating better. Whatever it is for you, pick something and go with it. Have that statement posted wherever you are. Do your resume, figure out where your strengths and weaknesses are, and do something. Start somewhere. Today is a Monday if you're here on this live video. If you're listening to podcasts, whenever you're listening to it, start then, whatever it is. But today's a Monday if you're watching the live video, and it's an awesome day to start. Mondays are awesome days to start because it's the start of the week. It's the start of, it could be the start of the month for you, whatever. But make sure that you just get started. Sometimes the start is the part that scares the people the most because they don't know what's going to happen. But if you get started, you're going to find out it's not so scary, and you might have a better life because of it. All right. I hope you have a great day. Make sure you subscribe to Public House Media. Make sure you subscribe to my podcast too, Choose to Rise Up. Head to Facebook and see me there as well. I love to post funnies. I love to post self-care tips. I love to post fitness and nutrition information things, and I'd love for you to join me in one of my free accountability groups coming up soon. So if you have something that you want to share with me, some feedback, something like that, email me, message me at choosetoriseUp.com, or you can email me at choosetoriseUp@gmail.com. I hope you have a fantastic day, and hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Later. Hey, I'm glad you enjoyed the show. Please follow Public House Media on Twitter at the PH Media and on Facebook at Public House Media to stay up to date on this podcast as well as many other things happening on the network. You can leave me feedback on my show, and if you have any questions, comments, or new ideas or topics, I would love to hear them. You can also follow me on my social media account, Choose to Rise Up at Facebook, and at KJP Meyer on Instagram. I hope you have a great day.